month? No problem. Why? Because we're still cashing in bets, baby. Yesterday was another winning day on the channel, and today it's Wednesday, June the 5th, 2024, and I've got 3 best bets for you guys. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Yesterday, we had another winning day on the channel. It was a sweep, baby. Put those games together. Let's go. Our first sweep of the month of June. That's exactly what we needed. 3-0 on the day. We cashed on the Royals first 5 money line, and that's why first 5 was so important. I told you guys I hated the bullpen of the Royals, and guess what? They blew the game, but we won in the first 5. Cubs and Yankees on the money line. The Cubs, oh my goodness, what a sweat. There was a chance that you could have gotten them at plus 500 on the money line. They came back after the rain delay and was able to cash in for us to close out that lay. And then Angel Reese, even though she got ejected, she still was able to grab 10 boards. So that's all we needed for her to do was grab 9. 3-0 on the day yesterday. You can see our year-to-date record right here. 5-1 to start the month of June. That's exactly what we need. And then tomorrow, the NBA Finals is back. And you guys know we've been on fire in the NBA. So make sure that you guys are sharing this video with some friends, sharing the channel with some people. So this way you guys know, hey man, this guy's crushing in basketball. Because I think we've hit 18 of our last 20 basketball bets, including WNBA. I mean, come on now. Like, let's go. NBA Finals tomorrow. We got to run that back. So I appreciate all the love and support over the last few weeks that we've been on fire here. Smash that subscribe button, like the channel, and guess what, baby? It's Wednesday, so it's travel day in baseball. We have a full game of baseball winners for you guys. Let's dive into it real quickly. For my first best bet of the day, we're going to go to the Orioles and the Jays here, and we're going to go with the first 5 under 4.5 runs, minus 125 odds. Now, this is a matchup between 2 pitchers that have been fairly impressive this year. Albert Suarez is on the mound for the Orioles, and since he's been in the rotation, he's actually been solid. 2-0 on the year, 1.57 ERA. He was really kind of being converted from a reliever into more of a starter, and we've been able to see that over his last few starts where he went against Tampa Bay last time. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run given up. And then the start before that against the White Sox, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs. So that's what we need. He's not going really deep into games, but all we need him to do is get to the first 5 innings here. And that really shouldn't be too much of a tall task to ask for against the Jays offense that's just been dismal all year. I mean, you guys know the numbers. I think yesterday was their 26th straight game where they haven't scored a run in the first inning. And just in general, their offense has been stagnant. Bottom 10 in all of the major leagues in terms of runs scored per game. Also in the first 5 runs scored per game. So even though Suarez is a guy that you might not be too familiar with in terms of his game, it's okay because the Jays offense to me right now is not very threatening. Bo Bichette hasn't been hitting the ball well. Vladdy has not been doing too much. You know, Varsho, some of the other guys that you're expecting to do really good. Springer just hasn't been there. And the reason why I like the first 5 under is because Jose Barrios is on the mound for the Jays, but I also actually lean towards the Orioles on the first 5 money line. You guys can add that as a play. I'll probably add it in the Discord as a play because Jose Barrios is one of those guys where he's going to pitch solid for you. He's going to give you 6-7 strong innings, but it's not going to be shutout innings, right? In his last start against the Pirates, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run. The Jays actually won that game, but it had to go in extra innings, and they won that game 5-3 in 14 innings. And his start before that against Detroit, he went 7 innings, only 2 runs given up, but guess what? The Jays lost that game 2-1. So that's the thing. Barrios does not really get a lot of run support, which is why I like the Orioles in this matchup. I like them in the first 5, but also I think that we can just go with the first 5 under because he is strong enough to keep this Orioles offense at bay. We saw this back on May the 13th when these 2 teams faced off, and Barrios was on the road at Camden Yards, and he went 7 innings, 3 hits, only 2 earned runs given up, which were 2 mistake pitch home runs, and the Jays actually won that game in extra innings 3-2. So for me, I'm expecting a low scoring affair in here. We got a total low around 8, 8.5, somewhere in that range, 7.5 I've seen on certain books. So for me, I think the first 5 under, I like the fact that we're getting at 4.5 instead of 4. Give me the first 5 under 4.5 as we're going to fade the Jays offense here. We also go 2 pitchers who've been very solid so far. Now for our second best bet of the day, we're going to run it back. It's the same exact parlay from yesterday. We're going to go with the Yankees on the money line. We're going to go with the Cubs on the money line. Parlay those together. We're getting a lot better odds value today. We get to actually plus plus 130 odds value. Now, in today's matchup, the Yankees are taking on the Twins, and we've got Carlos Rodon on the mound for the Yankees, while Chris Paddack is on the mound for the Twins. And I really like Rodon here in this matchup. 7-2 on the year, 3.09 ERA, and we've seen what he's been able to do over his last few starts. He's actually gone 5 straight starts where he's gone at least 6 innings. You love to see that, including a 6-inning shutout 2 starts ago against the Padres. We've seen him at times struggle with his control. He walks batters at times. We've seen him give up runs, like in his last start where he gave up 3 earned runs, 1 home run to the Angels. But the Yankees offense to me is good enough to back him up. That's the thing that I really like with the Yankees offense here, is that Rodon, he can give up 2-3 runs, but the Yankees, the way they've been absolutely crushing right-handed pitching over the last month, top 10 in isolated power, top 10 in OPS, top 10 in runs. Like, I mean, the Yankees are just really just clicking on all cylinders right now, and that's concerning to me, especially when you keep in fact that Paddack is a pitch-to-contact guy. 4.57 ERA. In his last 5 starts, he's given up at least a home run in every single game, including 2 home runs in his last start against the Royals. That's not going to get it done against a Yankees team that you know has Judge, that has Stanton, that has Soto. Any of those guys can go yard at any time, and that's just really concerning against a guy like Paddack, who throws the ball over the plate, who gives up a lot of contact, and he's not really a big strikeout guy either. 4 strikeouts in his last start, 3 strikeouts in the start before that. So if you're not getting the strikeouts against some of these power hitters, they're eventually going to make contact, and I like the fact that the Yankees should be able to get to him, and they've had success against him in the past. Back in May the 14th, these two teams faced off, and Paddack faced the Yankees at home in that matchup, and he only made it 5 innings, but he gave up 12 hits, 5 earned runs, and 1 home run to go with 2 walks in that start. That's not what I'm looking for. I think the Yankees are going to be able to get to him again today, so give me the Yankees on the money line here. Now, meanwhile, the Cubs, we're just fading the White Sox. They've lost 12 straight games, and it's just one of those things. The White Sox had a 5-0 lead yesterday. You can say that maybe the rain delay messed them up, but their bullpen just cannot be trusted. They've blown so many games later on in games, so it's just like so many things that you just not are really able to predict with this White Sox team, and that's why I'm just going to go with the Cubs here on the money line. Now, Jameson Taillon has been a pitcher that's been a little bit inconsistent for the Cubs, but 2.84 ERA is not too bad, and he's gone 3 straight starts, giving up 3 earned runs, but 2 starts before that, only 2 earned runs given up against the Braves, and no runs given up against the Brewers. So for me, Taillon is a guy that's been struggling. 4 straight losses for the Cubs in his starts, but here's a great opportunity for him to bounce back against a White Sox team, like I said, lost 12 games in a row, worst team in baseball. They're not going to lose every game, but I just really don't like their chances in this matchup, especially with the crosstown rivalry that we have going on, and they're also sending Eric Freddy to the mound. This is a guy who's given up 4 earned runs in his last start against the Brewers. We've seen him at times pitch well, but also give up 5 runs to the Jays. That's a Jays offense that doesn't do that well. So for me, if the Cubs are going to be able to rally, get behind Taillon, they should be able to score a few runs today. So give me the Cubs on the money line, Yankees on the money line. Much better odds value here as our second best bet of the day. For our third and final pick of the day, we are going to head over to the San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Angels matchup. But I'm actually not going to take the Padres, even though I want to. Padres for me are just like, every year they go through this phase where they lose games that they're supposed to be winning, like they've done over the last 2 games. And I'm not going to take them on the money line. I don't care if Dylan Cease is pitching today. So we're just going to isolate this to a player prop. And we're going to go with Jose Soriano here, over 16.5 pitching outs, minus 110 odds on FanDuel. Now, Jose Soriano is one of those pitchers that if you're not familiar with this game, you should get related to it a little bit, because he's actually been a lot better than the numbers might actually kind of show for him. He struggled of late in terms of his control and giving up runs. We saw him give up 4 runs in his last start against the Mariners to go with 7 hits. His start before that against the Guardians, 4 runs over 6 innings with 4 hits. But this is the thing. He still goes deep into games. His last 3 starts, 6 innings, 7 2/3 innings. So that would have got us over the line here. His start before that against the Cardinals, 5.1 innings, so we would have hooked. So for us, we just need to really to get him through the 6th inning. I think he should be able to do that because the Angels have been pitching starters a little bit longer of late. 6 2/3 innings we saw for Tim Anderson the other day. We saw Pablo Sandoval go 6 innings yesterday. I think Soriano is going to go 6 innings again today. And it's just because the Padres offense really hasn't shown up this series. I don't know what's going on. They scored 2 runs yesterday. They scored 1 run the day before that. So that offense, they're not showing me anything. Even though they're the number 1 offense on the road this year, it hasn't shown up this series. Maybe some regressions do, but we've seen Jose Soriano go deep into games, and I think that he should be able to go deep in the game today. The Angels also used 5 pitchers yesterday yesterday, despite the fact that Sandoval went deep in that game, and that's because they were trying to make sure they secured the win after they scored a few runs in the bottom of the sixth or bottom of the seventh, something like that. So Jose Soriano, he's a guy that we know can go deep in games, and I think as long as he can keep his control and he doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. I mean, 2 walks per game is not good, but it's also not bad. It's also one of those things that's going to keep your pitch count pretty low, and I think that he should be able to pitch strong enough today against the Padres to go deep enough to get the pitching outs that we need. It might be a pitcher's duel. I also lean towards the first 5 under in this matchup as well with Dylan Cease on the mound, but instead of taking the under, I'm just going to go with Soriano's pitching outs because I believe that he should be able to get through 6 innings as our final best bet of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners that are headed your way on this Wednesday card. Give me Jose Soriano over 16.5 pitching outs. Let's run it back with the money line parlay on the Yankees and the Cubs at much better value than we got yesterday. And then let's also be able to take the Jays and the Orioles first 5 under 4.5 runs. I will have maybe a WNBA play a little bit later inside the Discord group. No player props are really out right now, and the spreads are a little bit too big for me just to confidently lay some of the 6, 7, 8 points that we're seeing on the board. But we do have some WNBA Commissioner Cups games on today, so I will have a pick or 2 inside of those matchups. So if you want those picks, click the link in the description, join the free Discord group. I appreciate all the love and support that you guys are continue to show. Hopefully we can stay hot this month. If I've been making you money, drop a comment below so I can see what you guys are taking so I can tell you as well. And let's continue to cash in on those plays. Let's get after that money, and I'll see y'all tomorrow's video. Later, gang.